What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I'm out at the project site today and things are looking lush and green out here on a 4th of July weekend in Zone 8, South Carolina. Hope everything is good with you. Today, we are going to do a full walking tour of this food forest, really focusing on the things that we are harvesting and growing right now. Come on back, enjoy the journey. Welcome back to the Project Farm Garden fans. We are midsummer right now and things are looking thick, dense, and green. I'm going to be taking a very familiar pathway around the food forest, focusing in on a lot of the things that we are harvesting this month and show you some of the things that we're going to be harvesting in the next couple months to come. As it is mid-June, so far we have already harvested things like blackberries, blueberries, and plums, and we've got a lot more coming on. At the bottom of the hill here, our summer vegetable garden is finally starting to fill out. Now these are hugel mounded vegetable beds that are fed by spillway water from the project swales coming down the hill. So any overflow that we get from the swales kind of meanders down the hill and works its way around these hugel mounded vegetable beds. And this is how we kind of keep this vegetable garden looking lush, dense, and green. Now just a quick walk around it to kind of show you some of the things that we've got growing on. We have zucchini, I see watermelon out here, certainly we have tomatoes, we got okra, I see cucumbers coming up right now. Tomatoes haven't quite turned color yet, but they're certainly getting there. I don't know the variety of all these. I'm gonna honestly have to give a big shout out to Tracy Locklear, who basically manages this annual vegetable garden. She's the one who basically puts together our summer and fall veggie garden. We prepare the beds for her and she kind of goes nuts. So Tracy is always out here every weekend doing a really good job putting things together. I want to give a big thanks to her for all her work, tirelessly getting this place looking good. Getting to the perennial side of things. Currently, most of the figs that we have growing are putting on. So we have a couple different variety of figs growing out here. We have black mission figs, we have brown turkey figs, we have LSU Gold variety, Celeste figs are coming on, and most of the figs that we got are now well established, starting to put on some size and putting on fruit. Some of the things that we're going to be harvesting this month, one of them is gummy berry. Now every gummy berry shrub we have right now is absolutely loaded down with berries. I cannot even begin to tell you how every branch looks. Absolutely full of fruit. And what we're going to be doing here in the next month is processing this fruit into fruit leather, fruit juice, jams, jellies. The taste of a gummy berry is very similar to a raspberry. That's the best description that I can give for it. It's certainly unique in its own right, but gummy berry is definitely a good one to add to your food forest, especially if you're looking for some nitrogen fixation and a shrub layer. We're getting pawpaws. This is the first year that we've gotten pawpaw fruit on any of the trees out here. So it's really nice to see some pawpaws. Of course, they needed to get a little bit taller and a little more mature to make that happen. But this year we should get our first small crop of pawpaws, which is promising for the year to come. Blueberries. We still probably have a few blueberries hiding out here on our blueberry shrubs. But for the most part, we've done a good job harvesting all the blueberries. We've harvested thorny wild blackberries, and then the thornless cane variety blackberries we've also harvested. So most of the small fruits are done and gone for the year. This is mint out here. We've got an asparagus bed with mint as a companion plant. Of course, all the native wild pollinators are out here. This entire place looks great. It's packed with food. It is really starting to look like a wild, dense jungle, which was the idea to start with. Every jujube tree we have is absolutely loaded down with fruit. And these should be ready by August, the end of August. And if we decide to leave them on the tree until September, what'll happen is the fruit will kind of shrivel up a little bit, get softer and sweeter. And this is where jujube gets its other name, Chinese date, from. So jujube are going to be harvested here shortly. In late fall, we'll have persimmons ready to roll. We have two Fuyu persimmons out here. These are Japanese style persimmons, and both Fuyu trees are putting on a good bit of fruit. These will certainly turn a little bit orange, and by September they'll be ready to go. What I do enjoy about the Food Forest Garden fans is that we are harvesting something fresh every month. Starting in February with the loquats, we harvest all the way up until October and November when it comes time for persimmon harvesting. So there is always something to harvest out here. This is one of the joys of having a permaculture food forest, is that you don't have one crop. Polyculturing is certainly going to be the future of gardening if we want to have any kind of sustainable food system going forward. Here's another jujube, and we have many different varieties out here. We have Li and Lang jujube, both varieties I'm seeing are putting on fruit, a good bit of fruit. Here are pineapple guava, which should be ready by September. I'm just starting to see the flowers falling off and the little baby buds of fruit starting to form. So these aren't quite ready yet. By September, we'll be getting a very tropical, big harvest of pineapple guava, and these two shrubs were very productive for us last year. I expect them to be even more productive this year. What else are we going to be harvesting in this month? Elderberry is a big one. I said gummy berry, and I'll show you some elderberry here in a moment, but elderberry, gummy berry, and some of the tree fruits we're going to be harvesting. This is a pomegranate. Pomegranate's looking good. We've got quite a few pomegranates out here. Most of them, I think, have flowered, and some of them are setting fruit. Here we got some pomegranate fruit here. And these, all of our pomegranate were a little bit stunted this year with a late frost we got. However, they bounced back very quickly, and we should be harvesting pomegranate by September. Tree nuts, we have hazelburts here. This is a great hazelnut tree, hazelburt ultimately. Hazelnut crossed with a filbert. And these guys are loaded down with nuts. I love how the fruit looks. It's a very interesting cluster of nuts. Here we have some already drying up, looking ready to roll. These are probably ready to harvest. In the next month or so, as those leaves continue to dry up, the nuts will fall right out and we'll be ready to harvest. So hazelnuts, hazelburts are looking good. Here is another jujube tree. This is a Lang variety jujube tree. The Li variety we have, the fruit looks very similar to a crab apple. And the Lang variety we have here, the fruit looks very similar to a pear. So very different shaped fruits, very different colors as well. Here's another patch of hazelnuts. Here's another one of those gummy berry trees I was talking about. Once again, these are going to be ready to harvest by the end of this month. And as I was saying, every one of them that we have on site is absolutely loaded down with fruit like this. I've found that the consistent chopping and dropping of these, they really produce more fruit, not less fruit. And this gummy berry is the nitrogen fixation for Chinese chestnut here. See if I can get you a view on one of these chestnuts, a little spiky ball here. Chinese chestnut. And these Chinese chestnuts are also not going to be ready till about September, October. Maybe right after our last frost date, we'll be able to come here and start picking up these spiky balls off the ground. So a lot of fruits, a lot of nuts growing out here. See if I can show you some elderberry. We are very close to elderberry harvest time. Here are some elderberry, elderflower, and these will be ready by the end of this month to harvest. Most of them, a lot of these still have quite a few green fruits on them, but for the most part they're ripening up, and if we get another good rain or two, these will be ready to harvest. Let me keep walking around, garden fans. There's some things that we planted out here last year that have gotten established and are looking pretty good. We have 2 olive trees that made it through our late frost. We have 2 others that did not make it, so we're going to plan accordingly and try to plant some more as we go along. I'm going to really step back and kind of give you a broad look at the whole place now, give you a good panning shot of what this whole place looks like, because from different angles, from different areas, it just looks different. To me, I enjoy seeing the different shapes, the colors, the sizes, all coming together to give us this dense food forest look. We've gotten a lot of rain this year, garden fans. Our water catchment, we've emptied it out, and now it's starting to fill right back up. So we've had a pretty good consistent amount of rain this year, which helps our watering system. When it rains heavy, we certainly don't have to come out here and use our water. As long as we're getting one good heavy rain every week, our swales should fill, our underground aquifer should stay loaded, and the plants should have no problem growing and being happy. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming out here for the tour today, Gardens fan. If any of y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, just want to know more in general, please just leave a comment below. And if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. That's what really helps us out. Please give us a thumbs up, and we will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for coming out. God bless.